outrage as newly elected UK councillor screams Allahu Akbar. Many of you probably saw this on Twitter because it did not go over well. How would I pronounce this? Mothin Ali, a 42-year-old accountant and gardening blogger, sparked outrage after celebrating his election as a Green Party councillor in Leeds by shouting Allahu Akbar and declaring that his win was for the people of Gaza. The Muslim candidate, who had previously called Israel a settler colonial occupier, concluded his speech in front of a Palestinian flag, stating, "We will not be silenced. We will raise the voice of Gaza. We will raise the voice of Palestine. Allahu Akbar." His provocative remarks drew condemnation from the local Jewish community, with one leader writing to the Green Party that Ali's behavior at his count required suspension as, quote, "your silence has not now gone past the time." Well, Ali later apologized, saying Allahu Akbar is merely an expression of gratitude and celebration, and that accusing him of supporting violence suggests Islamophobia. The controversy highlights the tensions between the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict in British politics. So if you scroll down a little bit farther, we can actually watch the video that got people upset. Yeah, here we go.
Wait, do you have no idea?
Yeah, no audio.
Yep.
Here we go.
Palestine will be free! 3 years ago, we started this campaign. I started alone, and Allah sent His angels to come and assist me. So, for the community of Hales and Gibson, who are fed up of being let down by the Labour Council, who have been fed up of being taken for granted, who have been fed up of being taken for granted, who have been fed up of being neglected by this rotten council, who are fed up. Look at the language you're using. Back off. Don't use that for the win. For the people of Hales and Gibson, it's a win for the people of Gaza, who have been neglected. We will not be silent. We will raise the voice of Gaza. We will raise the voice of Palestine. Allahu Akbar!
Look at that lady in the back. Do you see? Do you know what I'm talking about?
The white Green Party lady just like,
What is happening? Hold on. This is amazing.
Okay, so this was met with massive backlash, and then he was being investigated by the Green Party for his behavior. So it was like insta karma backlash on his face. Okay, but here's the thing. I was reading a UK subreddit. Go ahead.
Okay, well, look at this lady, like, yay, Islamism growing in Germany, right?
UK.
Look. Oh, sorry, in the UK, that was the previous news. But look, like now there's a Palestinian flag in the UK, and look at that, she comes under it. It's so. This is like a white non-Muslim lady. Hold on, where is she? She comes like,
she
"Oh,
just
let
pops
me in
up.
too. I'm here too. Yeah, I'm here too." And then she's like, they're talking about Gaza. And she's like, "Yay!" So I'm like, what are you doing? Well, I don't know what these people are complaining about. I want to know. But look, she's just participating. Like she looks like so out of place among these Muslims. And people are like cheering about Gaza. She's like smiling, like, "Yay, yay, Gaza." What is happening? Okay. This is a Palestinian flag raised by UK politician. Like, who are you supposed to represent? Like, what the hell is happening? Like, is this a politician in Palestine meant to represent Palestinians? Like, you've just been elected to represent people in the UK, and now you have a Palestinian flag behind you. Like, how does that work? But yeah, go on.
Here's the thing. This is exactly what I wanted to talk about, Armin. Thank you. I did some digging. Okay, so if you go look on the Green Party website for Leeds, and you go look up this guy's profile, I swear to God, and this is before the controversy really kicked off. Like, I did a little bit of digging, and so these photos were up for a long time. And every single photo that this man is pictured in, he has something Palestine on him. It's in like, these are photos going back. I mean, like, beanie, Palestine. It's just like him in his garden. He has a gardening block. It actually looks kind of wholesome, but it's like him, like, Palestine football jersey. Everything, like every image, it's like this dude is Palestine to out. It's like tits out Palestine all the way. And and
Oh my God.
what drives me crazy is I would be so offended as a UK citizen if, why are you raising the flag of any other country
Right.
while you are representing the citizens of the UK? Can someone please, for the love of God, explain to me how someone winning their ward in Leeds is going to lead to the liberation of the people in Gaza? He's like, this is for Gaza. Like, this is a major win for Gaza. How? How? How are you going to do anything for Gaza? You are running a local constituency. You should be concerned about the status of roads and if you're collecting garbage on time. Can you do that? Can you do that?
We pick garbage for Palestine.
But and if you were pictured more often with a flag of another country than the flag of the people you're supposed to be representing, I take issue with that. I would take issue with any politician doing that with the Israeli flag. I mean, like, for the love of God, who are you here for? And so people took great offense at this. People were like, this is, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people online being like, oh my God, Tommy Robinson was right. Like,
Yeah,
he warned
people
us
need
like
to.
10 years
Some people
ago.
need to. Some people need to apologize to that man. I think, right? Like, I think
Yeah.
a lot of people owe that man an apology. Like, okay, maybe we should actually make you the mayor of London or something. I don't know.
That'd be wild. But yeah, apparently there are many other wards that lost major support for the Labour Party in favor of independent parties, all surrounding the issue of Gaza. And they're all predominantly Muslim constituencies that lost major support from the Labour Party. And we're talking about the Labour Party, you guys, the Labour Party. With their track record. And it's not good enough. And it's I don't know, Armin, what do you, and there was another person that won their constituency, was it in the West Midlands, who was also pulling the exact same absolute bullshit. What do you think about this trend, though? Because this was a trend that we were seeing about the Labour Party losing massive support. The problem is that the polls that we talked about a few weeks ago is that the issue of Gaza and Palestine for voters of the general UK public is a primary issue for only 3% of the general public, but it's a primary issue for 1 in 4 British Muslims. So it's massively disproportional in terms of importance.
So here's the thing. Here's the problem with some of these polls is that it doesn't show which sections of the society are going to be more active politically, right? It's one thing to see what people think in the UK, in the US. It's another thing is which one of them are going to turn out to vote, protest, become active in politics, because a lot of these Muslims are going to be overrepresented in politics because they're so eager to be active in politics, even if their views are, let's say, for example, 10% of society. they're going to be 30% of politics or 20% of politics just because you're going to stay at home and they're not, just because they're going to show up in protest and you're not, just because they're going to go vote at these, like, small elections that a lot of even people who vote don't show up at these smaller, less important elections. They don't show up. They show up in like major elections, but not in small elections that are more local. And these Muslims are going to be like, yeah, we're going to show up there because this is how we're going to take over, right? So just remember, when you're saying like, oh, this only 5% of people care about it, like, okay, yeah, but a big portion of Muslims care about that, and they're going to show up and they're going to do politics and they're going to change your politics because of that, just because you're not going to be as active as they are, right?
And let me be clear about something in case it wasn't already clear. I could not give less of a shit about what someone's ethnicity or national origin or heritage is. This is not about like their ethnicity or if they come from an immigrant background or anything. Armin and I could not care less about that. This is about the values that these people represent.
Yeah, you could be like from Palestine, right? And you have a record of serving the UK or the people that you're supposed to represent, and not be a Palestinian activist. And we're like, yeah, that's fine. For example, you could be from Palestine and be like, yeah, I accept Israel's right to exist, and I'm like, yeah, that's a great politician. I don't care that you're from Palestine. I don't care that what your ethnicity is, where you're from. I care about your views. And these people have horrible views, and that's the problem. These people have horrible views. Yeah. I mean,
Oh
we
my
have
God,
we have so many Palestinians in our live chat that are based Zionists. Okay, so in our own community, right? So yeah, okay.
They're out there, guys.
Yeah.
The other thing is we found this dude's tweets from October 7th have been found, and they're not good. They're not good. Me, Zaid Habibi, my number one Habibi.
Yes.
Zaid is my number one Habibi. He has the honor of being
Zionist
my number
Palestinian representing in the live chat.
Present. Oh my God. Okay, now it's time for our update. We're like waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, super chats first or updates?
Oh, okay, yes. Man, these are so freaking funny. Great Red Menace is saying, just one thing to say, Mossad agent Ali Copter had a massive harm to the Islamic Republic, it seems. John gave a super chat saying, ugh, you're a flippin' counselor in Leeds. Yes, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
But we're taking this movement to Gaza. Asian American is saying he could just advocate for watermelon gardens. Exactly. I would have no issue with that. Just have some watermelon gardens. That'd actually be quite wholesome. Who doesn't love a good community garden? Sandra Gabora is saying, Susanna, please address the numbers of casualties in Gaza that the UN very reluctantly and very quietly reduced drastically and do not coincide with your intuition. I don't remember what you're talking about in terms of my intuition.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw that news. I mean, that I don't know why does it seem quietly, because in the circles that I am, that was like a major. I sent it immediately to Susanna. That was like a major news for us. Like, I mean, I already knew that you cannot trust their numbers, right? But Susanna, did you mention that you do trust their numbers?
No, I think what Sandra is referring to is last week we were having a discussion about someone was asking us to compare this military operation, this war against the number of bombs dropped or something the US did on Iraq or Afghanistan or something.
Oh, yes. I remember. I said that I think that when United States was bombing in Afghanistan and Iraq and in Syria, they had worse civilian to militant ratio than Israel is having.
Yes.
Even though in Israel, okay, so you're saying, but so this news
Those
that
are
just
separate
came out,
things.
those are separate things. I still think Susanna is wrong, but this news does not show that Susanna is wrong. Okay, so I think I see where Susanna's intuition comes from, because dropping bombs in Gaza is just so much harder to avoid civilians because of the high population. This was not an anti-Israeli take from Susanna. This is like this is an understanding of how Gaza is much more population dense than those
I
other.
should clarify further. So I
Yeah.
actually agree that based on the information that we have so far, it looks like Israel has a better combatant to civilian loss ratio than the United States interventions in Iraq and Afghanistan. Based on all the information we have, I already believe that. If those numbers change, then my belief will be updated, right? So that wasn't the contention. I think it was literally just in sheer number of bombs, missiles, whatever dropped. I think my saying, oh, maybe something was telling me that it might be larger than I would have expected or something. That's it. So that's separate than the actual casualties.
Yeah.
I never trusted
Yeah, this
Hamas
news that came.
casualties numbers.
Yeah, and also the news that came out, it just talks about the fact that so many of the people who were killed are not as many women and children as been reported by Hamas. That's what this. So these are two separate things, but yeah, but still, I see why somebody might think that the civilian to combatant ratio in Gaza would be higher, given how much more difficult it would be to avoid civilians, given that your enemy doesn't wear uniforms, given that your enemy uses civilians as human shields, and given that you are working in such an area with such high population density, given that half the population are children. So again, this even if the ratio is lower than United States, that is a miracle. That is like so impressive on how Israel managed to do a lower ratio in such an environment. But if the ratio is higher, like if like people like, well, it's impossible to have a ratio lower in such an environment, that wouldn't be Israel's fault. That would be the environment and Hamas's fault. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a few new super chats. Condovo is saying helicotlet. Can we have a read of that song? Helicotlet, helicotlet. Helicotlet, helicotlet. And Jihad Free Zone gave us a super chat. Thank you, saying Iran President Raisi helicopter crash thoughts. Well, we went over this. We had an immediate reaction as soon as we started the stream. There hasn't really been any major updates. We continue to check. We're waiting for breaking news. But if you want our thoughts, go check the beginning of the stream once this is over.
Well, I have some thoughts of somebody as an update. So what we're doing right now, Jihad Free Zone, is that between the news, I'm constantly checking if there's any updates, and I will tell people about the updates. So I have two updates. So just a few minutes ago, we still have the information is still that they're looking and they haven't found the helicopter or the people in it. Oh, and Khamenei just responded.
Ooh.
Oh my God, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this reaction.
What?
Khamenei just came up with a reaction to this event, and he says, Khamenei, I cannot believe the reaction, what he said. What do you think he said? Don't look it up.
I don't know. Is he already saying that he's dead?
No. Khamenei said that the country should not be worried. This is not going to influence anything. He's like, there will be no disruption. He's like, the country should not be worried. There will be no disruption in anything that what we do. I cannot believe this response. This is insane.
It's a little bit insensitive to be saying the man is irrelevant before he's already. We don't know if he's dead.
We don't. You know what? Now I hope he's alive so that he could hear that Khamenei said this. What the hell?
Oh my god.
He said ملت ایران نگران و دلواپس نباشند، هیچ اختلالی در کار کشور به وجود نمیآید. He said, so the nation of Iran should not be worried. There will be no disruptions in the work of the country in the country because of this. Like whether or not he's dead, there's nothing will happen. What the hell? This is such what the this is the value for life. Look at this. The value for this is your president might be dead, and you're like, no worries. Okay, I just got an update from just a few seconds ago. The minister of the country just said that because of the rain and the fog, we still haven't found the helicopter.
Oh my god.
Yes. And I have a video to share.
It's been a few hours now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Where is this? Is this in Tehran?
So this is from just an average person in Iran. People record their opinions and send this. Which city is this from? It doesn't say which city. But let's listen to what he says.
با سلام خدمت بینندگان خوب شبکه اینترنشنال. ما کماکان منتظر خبرهای خوش از سرنگونی هلیکوپتر رئیس جمهور محترم هستیم.
So he's saying we are still waiting for the good news, more updates from the good news of the helicopter crash of our president.
امیدواریم که گویندگان خبر با گفتن یه انا لله و انا علیه راجعون دل یه ملتی رو خوشحال کنن.
He says, like, we hope that the news anchors bring us happy news of his death. Like, he hopes, like, they bring joy to the hearts of an entire nation. Like, I hope you news anchors bring joy to the hearts of an entire nation by saying "Inna lillah wa inna alayhi raji'un," which is an Islamic thing when somebody dies. So he's saying like people are saying this is a happy news, and we hope that you make us all happy by telling us he's dead. So that's
the ruse came early this year.
Oh god. So many people are hopeful right now in Iran that he's dead. It's amazing how many people are waiting for his coup.
So funny. Okay, we got some more super chats. Gasian American, hello, my friend, saying thoughts on the Indo-Iran north-south trade route. When should justice triumph over the economy?
So the trade route has been very challenged because of the sanctions on Iran, and India doesn't want to. A lot of the trade routes have been going around Iran because of the sanctions on Iran, and that has been devastating to the potentials of, But India has a lot more power when it comes to ignoring sanctions, because United States really desperately needs India against China, and so when it comes to countries being able to sometimes ignore United States sanctions, that would be India. But this trade route would be this would be a step too far. So India, right now, India might buy gas and oil from Iran, even though they're not supposed to, and the United States might look away because it's India and it's big and it's important, but not to that extent. That's still something that India would not be comfortable.
Yeah, India can get away with trying to assassinate U.S. citizens on U.S. soil.
Yeah, India is such a big deal. United States cannot lose India as an ally.
No.
Because China is the most. When it comes to Russia, China, and Iran and North Korea, the most important one is China, and India is such an important ally.
Meher is saying that he already bought some tasty sweets to give to his family. Oh my god. And the Oracle Whimsy gave a super chat saying Raisi was taken out by Iran because his extremist policies led to problems with Israel. He and his security team are on Israel's hit list.
Raisi was taken out by Iran because his extremist policies. No. First of all, Raisi's policies don't matter. Raisi doesn't have
Exactly.
policies. Khamenei has policies. Raisi is just a puppet. Raisi is just for show. Raisi doesn't decide. The president of Iran doesn't really decide things. They're just there for show. The policies come from Khamenei. And Khamenei's policies, like if you want to remove somebody with extremist policies, you have to remove Khamenei, not Raisi. So yeah, that's it. That's completely wrong. That analysis is completely wrong.
Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.